race control. I think we're just going to start off with this by apologizing if this bitrate trashes itself. I don't know what else to do.
We've thrown the kitchen
I'm
sink
running
at it.
about I'm throwing like 3000 bitrate and like 480 stream resolution, so hopefully this works.
Fingers crossed.
Right in the middle of the road of the streaming availability, so hopefully it's not terrible. Anyways, looks like we're gonna have 14 drivers tonight for Phoenix. It's gonna be the second to last race of the season. I'm once again joined by Mr. Sammy himself.
Hey, everybody.
So we're gonna have looks like 14 drivers tonight. Phoenix, as we know, has the dog leg. It's going to be the faster way around, but also the more risky on tire strategy. I mean, is there a medium like a medium line you take? Do you take it sometimes, not other laps? Do you just try to run the track and not kill the tires? Like, what's the best way to run this track?
Um, for me at least, when I used to run around here, the best lane I would use, I'd kind of go to the top in 1 and 2, and I'd run the higher lane. And then going into 3 and 4, you could almost take the real life lane and easily pick up the throttle and wash up into the higher lane and try to get the runoff. Because with the trucks, the high lane actually works here at Phoenix, but with other faster cars, the bottom lane is the way to go.
Speaking of faster cars, these BNS drivers, whoever's going to be here next season, is actually bumping up to Xfinity cars next season. So I might see that bottom lane, as you're mentioning, if they come back to Phoenix, be more of a prominent feature.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like
Actually,
another
we're
thing we
having.
got to talk about. Oh, go ahead, Evil.
I was gonna say wait, it's hard. I was gonna read down our lineup, but we can go with
Yeah.
that first.
One last thing before we get to our starting lineup is that the main thing you got to worry about tonight, though, is your tires. Fuel will not really be much of a concern, but tires will be a major, major, major concern around Phoenix because this track will eat up your tires like it's nothing if you run too hard. But then you're making 3, 4, 5 pit stops, and next thing you know, you're multiple laps down out of a shot for the win.
Yeah, that's the. There's a medium line between going between the dog leg and staying on the track. The dog leg, like I said, is going to be a lot faster, but it eats up the tires having to make that constant hard left turn. And meanwhile, if you just stay on the track, just kind of ride your own little lane, it doesn't absolutely kill the tires. You can make it a little bit further. So I won't expect as many people as we're looking at to make this dogleg turn unless we're on a very short run. But until then, I think most people are going to stay on the track.
Mm-hmm, that's what I
As
would
it
do.
seems like we're still waiting for the pole sitter to join. But
Meantime,
while we're waiting for that, our starting lineup 14 drivers. I think it was originally 20, but we knocked it down to 14. Once again, Mr. Daniel McGurk's going to have the pole, but that's who we're waiting on at the moment. I'm not really sure what's going on in that situation. Chad East won. The points leader coming in tonight by 48 points. In second, he basically just has to run his own race, and he should basically lock down the title. It's going to be relatively close after today. We'll see. Luca Mazzilli's third and one of his better starts this season. He's been having some great runs as of recently. Recent qualifying runs. Colin Teague fourth, still looking for his first win. He could definitely get it today. Johnny Hannon fifth, again another strong starting spot. I believe, I think he's had top fives for the past couple weeks, as far as I He's starting spots for as far as I know. James Mendez 6, who is second coming into points, 48 behind East Lawn. We'll see how that goes today as well. Kevin Irguez 7s, Brad Qualls 8s, Ryan Wild 9s, who is not the best at Phoenix. He said that himself, for the record. Justin Newman 10s. I think that's his first top 10 starting spot of the season. Joshua Franks 11s, Patrick Garrett 12. We have Fabrizio Lamina in 13s and Vincent DePizzo 14s. Those are 14 drivers for tonight.
Relatively small field compared to what we're used to. And fingers crossed tonight, if he does win the championship tonight, maybe we can get an interview with the man himself, Chad Eastwan.
And if not this week, we're going to pester him over the week and get him the final race.
If he locks it up this week, then maybe next week we can have him up here in the booth with us. Just saying, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, guest commentator. Have the knowledge of a full-time driver this season, the champion of the season. I mean, he's definitely a deserving champion. He's been,
Oh yeah.
him and Lyle have been like basically 1-2 all season. Lyle hasn't had the best postseason, but
And it seems like they're giving Daniel McGorrick 3 minutes to get in the lobby, or he will be forfeiting his number 1 starting spot.
and I believe that would move. I don't know if that moves everyone to inside up one or if they just move everyone up in one in general. I'm not really sure
I
how that one.
do not know.
It could be like the real life situation where Brazil would be on first, but East One be the control car on the outside. I don't really know how that would work, but we will see.
Well, I
We'll
guess
go with that as we
yeah.
get information.
Well, I guess while we're waiting here, we could grab our weekly pre-race interview with James Mendez before this thing gets going. Anyways, so as we already know, you're very strong around here. Just kind of talk us through what you're going to try to do tonight strategy-wise.
Well, I don't really know. I believe the distance for fuel and tires is supposed to be like 30 to 32. And if halfway 75, you either got to slow down and stretch it 7 laps or 6, whatever it is, or push hard and hit twice and be done with it. So there's no cut dry way to really do this. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, just race it and see what happens. I'm pretty much out of it, so I can just kind of have fun.
Well, that's good, knowing that you can just kind of have fun all season. Was there any questions you want to ask him?
You guys can join, by the way.
Okay, we're gonna be able to join. I guess we'll let him go from there then. We will get him later if anything. We'll cut that short. We did get our answer on the lineup. That Daniel McGorrick has not shown up, so he has lost his pole position. East Swan will now be on the pole. So everyone moved up 1 spot there, from what I had said earlier.
Well, we now have only 13 trucks going into tonight.
Well, you have a 1 in 13 chance of getting your pre-race pick right.
Last week our picks kind of blew up in our faces. They were the first 2 drivers to DNF, and they both ended up last and second to last. But tonight, I'm not gonna go with the obvious pick. I'm gonna go with Luca Mazzilli. Tonight I feel like Luca, he's obviously really good with strategy and everything, and I could definitely see Luca being able to maybe stretch the tires just that little bit longer across the line in first tonight.
Very strong pick. Like I said, he's starting on the front row now after McGurk has had some, I'm guessing, internet issues or something else. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I'm gonna go with I've had a couple outsider picks these past couple weeks, and I kind of feel like I have to take the obvious one here, even though probably you don't want it gets me. I have to go East one. I mean, he's been dominant. There's no other way to put it. And that's very about it. Dominance usually equals wins, so, yeah.
Can't argue with dominance. Is Eastwan, who has been the man to beat all season long?
I think we are going next time, yeah. So, for 2 pace laps. I believe Jonas thought he was 5th, and I don't really know what's going on there. I think he was 5th, and then, everyone didn't show up, so I think everyone's still trying to figured out what's going on here. There we go. We're all getting there. Everyone's getting where we need to go. To be on green this time. 32 laps on fuel. That's probably going to be a 2-stop for most. We'll see if anyone can make it on one. It's going to be some close, about 5 laps to save. As we are green, everyone already hitting someone went way wide. I think he jumped a little bit, but everyone got going. This one's gonna stick to the lead as we go about 3-4 wide going in on turn number 1.
Well, I'm loading in right now.
Still 3 wide for about 3rd place.
We got one on the wall back there. As I head into turn 3 and 4 here, Chad Eastman already taking a pretty commanding lead as Luke Mazzilli has a strong dive into 3 and 4, but down the inside of Luca comes the 0-2 of Colin Teague. I think Colin Teague is going to be one to look out for tonight as well. He's going to be very, very aggressive tonight. Looking for his first win on the season. He's been so close all season long. Would not be surprised if that 0-2 truck ended up in victory lane tonight. Eastman a little tight out of turn 2.
Definitely would not surprise me. Anyone in this top, even top 4, top 5, I could see getting a win for maybe even their first time. We know Kevin Yergwith hasn't seen a win this season. Colin Teague is looking for his first win. Mazzilli's still looking for his first win this season. There's some big names that you think should have won, and they just haven't yet.
Definitely. As behind East One, it's a train of guys that are looking for their first win of the season here. As a good lunge into 3 and 4 for the 0-2 of Colin Teague. He's going to get a nice run off as Mazzilli tried to take a bite underneath him as an aggressive slam to the apron for Teague. And now he's side by side with East One at turn 1. An aggressive driving East One, gets the power in the center. And on exit, East One's probably going to clear him.
He's going to, he's going to stay side by side, but I think East One's also saving his tires right now.
East One is 100% saving his tires. You can tell from how conservative his lane is. He's very confident in that truck and the pace he has in it. As Colin Teague goes back to the apron, and now he's side by side for the lead in turn 1. New leader. Temporarily, the 0-2 of Colin Teague. Does he get the runoff?
Doesn't look like it. They're going to stay side by side off of 2. See who can dive further into 3 here. Looks like the 0-2 is going to take the apron. This one's going to stay to the top, and Teague's going to be down by a little bit.
As they head back down into turns 1 and 2, though, you can definitely see what I was talking about earlier in the pre-race. The outside lane is the lane to be in as Colin Teague pulls off a perfect slide job, and Eastman almost cuts off Kevin Yergles there as they're side by side again for the lead heading down the backstretch. Does Eastman go for the dive? Looks like he is. Side by side for the Colin Teague missed the corner slightly. Kevin Yergles makes the move 3 wide for the lead out of turn 4. And it's going to be, I believe, Eastman late. No, that was probably, yeah, it looks like Teague led the lap.
Teague barely led the lap, and we almost went 4 wide as Luca Mazzilli thought he wanted to get involved in that too. top 7 have all broken away here as they're all kind of looking to maybe even get to the lead. They all have a good chance right now.
As they head into 3 and 4 right now. Colin Teague fighting hard on that outside, and Kevin Yergles down the inside of the 23 at Eastwan. They are 3 wide. It's going to be a tight pinch for Chad Eastwan. Yergles is going to back out of it, though. Probably smart.
Yeah, we're seeing a little more patience than we have in the past. I mean, there's still some aggressive moves, but I mean, they're not really hitting each other right now, which I'm fine with. Aggressive moves and not making contact, that's what we actually want to see sometimes.
As Kevin Yergles has a strong corner entry in turns 3 and 4, but around the outside, Colin Teague is fighting hard against Eastwan for the lead. He still hasn't cleared him. They're almost 4 wide for the lead. They're 3 wide for third. Mazzilli backs out of that one as Teague is almost cleared to the lead in turn 1.
I think he did clear for a second, and Eastwan turned, made a hard left turn, almost got back under him again. But I think he's going to defend the bottom pretty well here, and I think he's going to actually maintain the lead for at least 1 lap by himself.
Oh, and look who's making a move for P3. Joni Johanan sticking his head in the mix once again. He's someone who's been so close to winning this season, but just hasn't quite gotten the deal sealed. As Eastwan's still just attacking the rear end of that 02 truck of Colin Teague.
He is, and actually, as you were talking about the battle for third, we've seen Colin Teague make the dive to the dog leg, but Chad Eastwan made a bigger dive to the dog leg. He took the more inside route. He took almost to the pit lane.
That's what I usually do when I dive down to the dog leg, is I go as close as I can to that pit wall. Sometimes I'll even scrape it, just trying to gain as much time as I possibly can. But as
These guys up here, they're all...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, no, you're fine.
These guys all up here are going to be committed to the 2-stop strategy for sure, though. These tires aren't going to make it the way they're going to be cutting the dog leg consistently.
Oh,
Each
yeah.
one might be trying something, though, as we see him go back on the track for once.
Eastwan's still been running that higher lane, trying to conserve his tires. He's slanted down on the apron a little bit, but not as much as Teague or the Hornet's Nest behind him has been.
See, this one actually going to take a little bit of a more bottom route, trying to protect the bottom. Now he's going to cut the dog leg again. I think he's kind of torn on his strategy at the moment. He's not very committed to one or the other. It's kind of hard to tell what he's wanting to do.
If my suspicions are correct and he does what I think he's going to do down the front stretch here, I might have figured out exactly what Chad Eastwan's doing. As he heads into turns 3 and 4 here. Side by side with Kevin Yergles, his teammate. As it comes across the line, I figured out exactly what Chad Eastwan's doing. If you watch him, he's going to go down to the apron every other lap, excuse me, to try and almost keep the gap to Colin Teague, but also save his tires to a certain degree. Like
Yeah,
this
I
lap, he
think,
should go to the apron.
Yeah, depending if 96 of Uruguay gets underneath him or not, might deflect that strategy. Actually, he's going to stay on up. There he goes, like you said.
Down to the apron, and then this time by, he should, if my theory is correct, run the track. But yeah, I don't think Colin Teague's saving his tires. I think he's just running it out.
I think he's going to get forced to run the track up. Nope, he's going to clear Uruguay once again. We'll see if he stays on the track. He's not, actually.
Surprised. Looks
Just the way I thought we knew what he was doing. I mean, I don't necessarily understand this one, because if you're going to be committed to the 1 stop, you're going to make all that time up. This pit road is so long that it takes forever to get down. It's the entrance of 2, basically the exit of 2 when you're exiting basically at the start-finish line on pit road.
Looking to see where he is. Oh yeah. James Mendez is already playing his strategy games really early on here, as he's just cruising through turns 1 and 2 right now.
And I said there will be a
There's
couple
few
different
turns.
strategies.
Yeah.
The 2-stop, and then if you can make it on 1 stop, you want to get to about like 37, 38. And especially with 2 pace laps, I could see it being possible.
It'll definitely be a pinch, though. As we are now on lap 20 here. As right now, looks like this group is slowly starting to reel back in the O2 of Colin Teagan's Landon Lyle, who was struggling here. Teddy was struggling all week long, just trying to gain some points here. So he makes a move on Luca Mazzilli, but Luca powers around the outside and will keep that P4 on corner exit.
Outside has bar momentum as you see battle for second as well. Yergues finally got back under East One. He might try to dive it in to get second. Looks like he will.
East One ran way too high into the turn 4, it looks like, and he's gonna still get the runoff. I'm not sure how he got the runoff, but he's making a move on Yergues in turns 1 and 2. Now this is just letting Colin Teague pull away.
I think Yuson's kind of forfeited a little bit, a couple spots here. He's realized that his stretch is going to work. He's going to have to not fight as much.
Mazzilli has a strong truck right now. Look at how Luke is able to really wrap the bottom lane. He did it in 1 and 2 as well. The 86 of Luca Mazzilli definitely has a lot of pace in that 86 sharp, and he's starting to pick up the pace right about now.
Looks like he definitely went on the tighter side of the setup when he started the race today. I don't know exactly what slider that is, but I think he might have went about 1 lower than everyone else, because everyone else looks like they're sliding a little bit. He's just able to wrap the corner how he wants to.
Exactly. Very long run basis. We do have one of the pits. That is the 39 of Justin Newman. His tires couldn't stretch as long as the others, and he's going to be the first man to come into the pits tonight.
There's a hornet's nest for 3rd place.
As Kevin Yergler is starting to pull away now. Is Colin Teague pit there?
No, he's still
out there. He just got such a huge gap.
This hornet's nest for 3rd is not going away though. Mazzilli's there, Eastlawn, Yohannan, Lyle. You can probably throw Fabrico in there as well.
They're getting really racy. Brad Quall's just sitting back there watching all this unfold. Daniel Hayden fighting. Are they 3 wide for 4th? They are.
They're about to be. Lyle's thinking about it. He backed out of it. Oh, a bit of contact. They each wanted to track.
Each one did not want to run the apron there. And yeah, I don't think Johnny O'Hanlon was very pleased with that move. He's going to show his displeasure there in 1 and 2 and take that 4th spot away. He almost smashed the ball.
That was just a racing one. I mean, they both wanted the track to conserve tires. I don't think Jonah thought he was going to be there.
I think he did.
Yeah, Lyle's going to take advantage. He's going to try to get 2 for 1.
He's starting to back down to save his tires right now, but I think it's too little too late. I think he already made his bet at that point.
Lyle might get 2. I think he is going to get 2 for 1. No. He's going to coast up track.
Oh, he hit the 3 of Johnny O'Hanlon. They're going to be... Fabico smacking off the wall out of turn 2.
A couple more on pit road. Brad Qualls came down, as well as the Kevin Yergues.
Now, these drivers are all coming to the 2-stop strategy, where they're going to pit here, and then they're going to pit a couple laps later in the race. That aim looked to stay phasing through the ground, but that's the point. As these guys,
Eastlawn's pitting.
Oh, yeah, that
all
is,
of them pitting. Teague, Mukazilli, Eastlawn. Looks like Fabico, and I believe 76. I don't know who the 76 is exactly.
There is the leader right now. I believe is the 3 of Johnny O'Hanlon right now.
I think that's Vincent DePizzo in the 76.
Is it?
I believe so.
I don't think Jonah and Lyle are both pitting now.
Jonah's pitting. Lyle is not pitting.
Lyle's the leader right now.
Well, we know how Lyle is good about stretching his tires as well. I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
Yeah, Landon Lyle does have a way of fuel conservation. He's won a couple races this season using fuel mileage. So this is nothing new for him. I see he's going to try to make it, I believe, on 1 stop.
Oh, he's coming this time.
And he comes. Now Landon Lyle sacrifices the lead to the two
It will
of
be.
Joshua Franks, I believe, is the leader now.
Yeah, 76
Yeah.
is Vincent DePizzo,
Yeah,
according to our Mr. Commissioner.
I remember when I ran full-time VNS last season, I remember racing Vincent DePizzo a little bit. He was very strong last year. You remember him with, I believe he almost won, or he did win Gateway last season.
2 is in, Franks is in, 18, Patrick Garrett's in. We'll cycle up to being Mr. Mendez whenever we get everything cycled around here in a second. At least for the moment.
We're now on lap 31, as I believe James Mendez is our leader, or I think it is Vincent DePizzo.
He will
as our
be.
leader.
Yeah. The O2 actually apparently took the lead. Unless.
James
Okay,
Mendez
they're
is your race
they're
leader.
good. They're just getting it. We just got told some information, but they're going based on what they see as well. They get the same views as well that we do. They don't get no leaderboard either, so every lap's a guessing game.
As James Mendez currently trying to stretch it to make it on one pit stop. It's going to be close, as it's now lap 32, now 33 if I am correct. As it is, yep, it is lap 33.
38's the magic number. It's going to be the start of 30 or 75, so about 37. 37, 38 would probably be where it's going to have to be.
Right about there, but if you can run longer than 37 or 38, I definitely would employ it, because the longer you can go around here, that means the fresher trials will have at the end of the stint.
Or also I might have to put a couple laps early. There could be a potential for the caution anywhere as well, and then they still wouldn't be able to make it.
Probably to lap 35. Is now on lap 35. Is James Mendez coming in? Yes, he is. Now, he can't make it right now. He'd have to stretch the tires a couple more laps.
Well, he could put adjustments in now. That could help a little bit. So we'll see how that one goes.
I believe the O2 of Teague could cycle to the lead here. Look. Oh yeah, he's got a huge gap.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what happened to everyone else, considering I know they're on 2-stop strategies as well, so I don't know how he got that far ahead.
Colin Teague, he also did a light undercut on them as well, so he just has a blistering pace right now. Some drivers possibly are going to save fuel here. Save tires here, excuse me.
I know for sure Colin Teague is, and he's just trying to stretch his lead.
Maybe trying to get it far enough to where he could come in and pit and take 2 tires. Just loosen up the truck a little bit and then just drift it around for the final couple laps and take the halfway win.
It's a possibility, depending on when he has to come in for his that second stop or even third stop.
As there is just a massive dogfight going on for what looks like P3. As first is the O2 of Teague, second looks like the 86 of Mazzilli, and then third is just the dogfight.
That's a 3-wide dogfight.
For third, they're getting chaotic.
Oh, there's gonna be a little bit Doring.
A huge crossover by Joni O'Hannon to try to get the 2 for 1 here, and he's one
looking in there too.
That was a beautiful move by Joni O'Hannon to go from the top to the bottom, pull an elevator move, and pick off both of them to secure P3 and kind of just scoot away.
Landon, one of the big loser in that. He went from third to looks like fighting for 5th.
Might be even less than that if he's not careful. Oh, he almost walls Swan.
Oh, they're still. What are we waiting on
just
each other?
door each other.
I think there's some. I didn't appreciate that move going on there.
Definitely. As I think, as there's not a whole lot of battling going on, minus that battle for now fourth, as Johanan is starting to run down Mazzilli as well. I think Mazzilli might be saving his stuff a little bit here. But I think we could kind of go through the field this week, as we're going to start off with the man leading this thing, the O2 of Colin Teague. Just kind of decided that he wanted to dominate the race tonight, and so far this two truck has just had a blistering pace.
Yes, he has. We've seen races get flipped on their lids sometimes, where the driver who's one halfway hasn't always dominated the second half. As of right now, he looks like he definitely could dominate the whole race, but I can't obviously say what's going to happen in the second half. But right now, he's looking like he might win the first half if everything goes his way.
Definitely can agree with you there, as he's just had a lot of pace tonight. Tires have not really been a concern because he's just been able to run away with it. But Colin Teague right now leading this thing, and not looking like he's slowing down anytime soon. But now we'll move on to the man in second, who is the 86 of Luca Mazzilli, and getting ran down by the 3 of Joni Johanan. Evil.
Luca Mazzilli, like I said, he's had a very up and down season. We've seen him up near the front, challenging for wins, and next minute, you know, he's spun around on something that's not even his own doing. It's just been one of those seasons where everything goes right, everything goes horribly wrong. Same as the guy in third, but we'll get to him in a second. So he's having a great day in second. He might lose second here in a second, as he looks like he's not having the same pace as the 3 truck is, but even a third place right now must feel like a great run for him.
As you just talked about him, hot on his heels is the 3 of Joni Johanan. Got past that dogfight for fourth, and now is running down 86 of Mazzilli. And I think Luca might be saving his stuff here a little bit, and Jonah's just trying to gain as much time on Colin Teague as he can. But Jonah's had a rough season. He's had pace to win races all season long, but just can't seem to have the luck on his side to go out there and contend for the wins. He has the pace, he has the talent, he just needs the luck. And he's running P2 right now. He just made a move on Luca Mazzilli for it. And he's running down the O2 of Colin Teague as quickly as he can. Could the 3 of Joni Johanan pull into victory lane at the end of the night?
It's definitely a possibility on the 3 of Johanan. Like I said, he has the speed in the first half of the race, and something goes horribly wrong in the second half. We've seen him lose the pack on something that gets spun out and something not his doing. Like, hopefully he needs the good luck charm in his truck. I don't know if he has it in there today, but if he does, he can definitely get up there to the front and stay there.
And now we move on to the man in P4, as a little tidbit, Justin Newman did end up DNFing out of this race. This is a very fierce battle for P4, but the driver that's currently in P4 is the 24 Landon Lyle. After his DNF, or not DNF, but after his penalty and suspension at Las Vegas, he's just been really struggling for the rest of this season. Obviously a strong run at Talladega, gone awry due to a hitting error, and now just trying to grab up points he can and try to salvage the season.
Yeah, let's start off such a great season for the regular season champion. Like, we thought he was going to be the one he had to go through. Eastlawn was obviously right there, but we thought it was going to be a dogfight between Lyle and Eastlawn. It hasn't really turned out that way for reasons out of mainly started at the Roval. I don't really know who was at fault for that one. I'm not going to pick sides on that either, but it started at the Roval. It hasn't went good since then. He just got passed for fourth by Eastlawn. As of course, they have to stay 1-2 next to each other basically, as they have all season. But that's been about it in a while. If he has a great truck all season, he just hasn't had the luck in the postseason.
As Kevin Yeagley is into the pits, but next driver up is the guy who just made a move for fourth, Chad Eastwan in that 23. Your current points leader, just doing what he needs to tonight and just keeping calm, running. No, I wouldn't say he's running hard. I think he's just taking care of his stuff. He's got a comfortable points lead. No one can really attack him besides the guy behind him, which is Landon Lyle. So I think he can just kind of cruise right now and have fun these next 2 weeks.
He's just here to ride around, basically, as he rides a little bit too high up near the wall there. But he's here to ride around, have fun, run laps. Big note on Chad Eastwan, he is going to be part-time next season in the BNS. He does not want to go to VRC. He's said he wants to be BNS, but he's only going to be part-time. So we won't have a repeat champion next year. There will be a new champion for next season.
Definitely interesting as those two continue to dogfight. Behind them, though, is, if I can find him here, the O2, our leader, Colin Teagues, into the pits. Early stop there. He's going to get another undercut on these guys, but if I can find him. Fabico making one of his only starts of the season. He made a few select starts, and this weekend being one of them. Trying to get a good result in that 16 truck. From what I've seen of Fabico, he's had a pretty strong few starts. Not really, I don't think he's gotten a top 5 or anything like that, but a couple top 10s. Strong run for Fabico tonight. Hopefully he can turn it into something more.
I think he definitely could, and I think he's trying to, because I believe he did mention that he's not under contract with anyone for next season. He is a free agent, and he's trying to impress his team owner, Drew, who is in a dogfight for the VRC championship, to get a ride for next season. And I think he definitely could, as long as he keeps up the pace he has so far. As everyone's coming in, so I guess we're going to have to end our thing there, because I don't know who's where now anymore.
Yes, that'll be our through the field segment for the first half here. We'll come back to it for the next half. As now they come into the pits, and I believe the O2 of Colin Teague with the massive undercut is going to recycle himself to the lead.
The 3 was waiting, he just pitted, so now Lyle's going to be waiting.
So I think it's just how much of a lead can Colin Teague get here, because he's been flying around here at Phoenix, and I don't think anybody else has really been able to hold a candle to him the entire night thus far.
Definitely not through the first half of the race, at least. Like I said, we've seen how races can be completely different in the second half, especially as the aggressive meter get turned way up. They're actually being relatively calm this first half, which has kind of been a surprise. We've seen races where they've been aggressive all race, which is not how we really want to see it, but hopefully this goes what I'm hoping it's going to be to the first half. Then second half we might see more aggressiveness, which could result in a new leader we haven't seen up there.
Absolutely agree. As these races usually get a little chaotic in the second half here, but with how small the field is tonight and how strung out things have been, I would not be surprised if we don't see a caution for incident tonight.
I think the one we're going to see, if we're going to see any more, it's going to be on the restart after stage 1, as we see the 2 of Joshua Franks take the lead. Interesting note on Joshua Franks as well. He, I believe, they're moving over to iRacing next season. I believe this is the last season here, as far as I read up on. I wanted to get to read too much, but they are moving over to iRacing next season, so see how his endeavors go on that one.
Definitely interesting. Joshua Franks, obviously well known here in VRC, not VRC, excuse me, well known over here in VNS and in VRC, and the entire OMA community wishes him well on his future endeavors. As he's still staying out, trying to pull some sort of strategy. No idea what strategy he's going to pull, but I'm sure it'll be something.
Could be the 2-tire strategy you mentioned earlier. This is be within about like 15 laps. I could see 2 tires being a card that gets pulled soon, at least to get some track position. As he's coming in this time.
As the O2 of Colin Teague is just, I don't think he can see anybody on him. Like, I don't think he can see anybody right now. I think he's in a league of his own.
Yeah, he's gone from everyone else. The 25 is going to retake the lead temporarily here.
He told the team that he was bailing on his strategy that he made, call that he made earlier in the race. So he will be trying to cyclone with the rest of these guys. Here's Mendez dives down to the apron. He's gonna wash up a little bit in the center, and he's pitting here.
I said one strategy goes away, another one could come up. Like I said, since Joshua Franks, a 2-tire strategy could be on the cards there. We'll see how that one pans out if he does or not. But that should cycle back down to Colin Teague in the 02, who's in his own zip code, maybe his own country.
I believe so, as I think Joni O'Hanan will be the second place truck still. If I can find him.
Yeah, he's just now coming off of Surrey.
Yeah, the battle for second is still very much alive, as Johanan and the 86 Mazzilli are both still right there battling with each other. I think Johanan's just got an overall faster truck right now, unless Luca made some adjustments in order to get that thing in gear a little bit.
Very possibly might have made it for a bit of this shorter run, as he's coming off of 3 right now. But just for reference, Colin Teague's going into 1. That's how he basically got a whole straightaway.
That's something you got to think about too. Is wow. Massive lead there for Colin Teague, as he's heading into turn 1 right now, and those behind him just came across the start-finish line. So that's a good 6-7 second lead, maybe more.
This is what we got used to with East One and Lyle domination. This is he decided he wanted to add his name into this apparently.
If Colin Teague does come back next season, I think he will definitely be a force to be reckoned with. He could definitely run for the championship next year if he could piece together these kind of runs every single week.
I think he could be one of the favorites, because I believe Lyle might be going to the VRC. East One will be part-time. Mendez probably be up in VRC, so, I mean, you got to pick out of the rest of them, and I think that reads Colin Teague as probably one of the favorites.
As they head back down into turn 1, well, as he heads back down into turn 1, you have James Mendez behind him, who is 2 laps down currently. And he needs to get one of his laps back in order to contend and get himself back 1 lap down so he can contend for the free pass. So he needs to catch that 02 truck.
I don't know if Teague can make it on like this last run though. It's gonna be close. I think he's pitted about like 25, 24 each time.
So he's gonna have to run a little bit longer here, and he's gonna be cutting it real close here. As it is lap 67, and James Mendez only has about, coming to lap 68, I believe we'll only have about 5,
Seven.
not even 5, like,
Like
7
laps to go, yeah.
Yeah, 7 laps to go now. He's gonna have only about 7 laps to get up there. Actually, no, 6, excuse me, because they end at the start of 75. So 68 out of 75. So he's gonna have about 6 laps to get to. So Colin Teague, just even with James Mendez on the fresher tires, he is struggling. See him in the wall there. He's struggling to catch. He's struggling to catch right now. The battle for second heating up as Luca Mazzilli and the 3 of Junior Hayden battling for second place.
I'm watching this battle with Fabico. East One and Wild, they go 3 wide again. These 3 can't get away from each other.
They're having a huge dog. They're 3 wide for 4th. As on the outside lane, it'll be Fabico trying to power his way up, but he hit the wall there.
This is kind of a big situation because if East One can't get points halfway, he's not exactly going to lock up the championship right away.
So, could East One be possibly being a little bit too conservative here?
As we would watch Colin Teague, but we already know he's just in his own country at this point, so we just want to give some kind of action. Let's see if we can pick up the battle for second. There it is. The 86 and the 3 going at it still.
As I think this was around the point in the run where Jonah's truck, started to come in, and Lucas started to fade out a little bit. And I think you're seeing that again here, where Lucas' truck came in the middle of the run like it did last time, but now towards the end he's fighting his truck a little bit too much, and now Jonah giving him a push into turn 1.
Yeah, these two aren't really going for points. They already know they're not going to get the championship this season, so I don't expect them to fight that hard for this place. I mean, they both know they're going to be there for the final part of the race if they stay right here. So I wouldn't expect very much out of them, but the second half they're probably going to go at it a lot more.
Final lap to halfway this time by, as they are still fighting for that second spot. As to the outside goes Johanan into turns 1 and 2.
He's going to get a little bit of a run, maybe. He's going to be see if he's going to have to do a crossover. It doesn't look like he's going to get it, though.
Depends on if Luca messes up his entry in turns 3 and 4. Oh, possibly a bump. Not enough. Colin Teague wins the halfway. Luca Mazzoli second. Joni O'Hanan third. Looks like Landon Lyle and Chad Eastwan fourth and fifth.
Eastwan was able to get at least salvage something out of the halfway. Probably not as much as he wanted, but as interesting note, it looks like the 25 did get around 02.
As they're pacing around under caution here. After a very, very tame stage 1 first half, especially for VNS's standards. This has been a very tame race thus far. Very strategy oriented. We don't see that a lot here in VNS, so it's always good to see some strategy coming into play.
As everyone's going to be coming down pit road, this time it's the lap cars. Led by Colin Teague in 02, who unfortunately has now other people on his country. I don't think he wanted that, but
I don't think he wanted that at all, so now he's going to have to worry about the guys behind him. And especially if he doesn't exit as the race leader here, this could definitely put a lot on Colin Teague's plate that he's going to have to fight through in order to win this race tonight.
very interesting. I mean, so if anyone does get him the leader, then we're going to probably see some 3-4 wide going into turn 1.
For sure. As Joni O'Hanan's out of the pits, Landon Lyle's out. Colin Teague exits as the race leader. So, Colin Teague dominance train gets to continue as long as he doesn't mess up the restart.
The two, they're going off the turn 1, about middle of 1, going back up 2 where pit entry would be. As the two trucks, I think they can give any kind of contention right now. The 86 and the 3 are going to be second and third, so we're going to see what anyone's going to have right here.
Going to be close on this restart. I tell you, those two, second and third, are just waiting for any sort of mistake from the O2 of Colin Teague so they can pounce and try to take that spot for themselves.
As green flag back in the air for stage 2, Colin Teague with a big jump, and he's already going to clear.
As now into turns 1 and 2, Chad Eastwan trying to throw his hat back in the ring here. He quickly jumps to the outside of the 3 of Johanan, but Johanan's going to try to get the run off on corner exit, and he will barely clear Chad Eastwan there. Now the 86 and Mazzilli having to fight back on the bottom lane.
Looks like he's going to try to stay with Colin Teague here. You're going to have to if you're going to have any chance at the win. Eastwan's going to get a big run off the outside.
Side by side for second still, but Colin Teague still looking very comfortable out front. Hasn't really looked back since he took the lead initially and has just kind of been in a league of his own. Can't Chad Eastwan contend that?
Yeah, first and second, Teague and Eastwan. That goes back to the battle at Eldora.
Oh, they're both
they
in the
both
wall.
get the wall.
Here comes Johanan. Johnny Johanan's going to dance his way through the middle, and he's going to take the race leader, but here comes Luca Mazzilli. They're 3 wide. Johanan slams the gas, almost puts himself in the wall. He's going to have to forfeit the position. Now, Luca Mazzilli going for the lead. My pick to win for the night. He's going to make a little bit of contact there with Colin Teague. He's going to move him up.
Give a bump to him.
He used the bumper. Here comes Luca Mazzilli and Landon Lyle to the inside.
Oh, he did the wall.
That Colin Teague just got put in the wall, and Luca Mazzilli takes the lead, and involved in that is, of course, the 3 of Johnny Johanan. Because it's not a race weekend without Johnny Johanan getting screwed.
Well, that goes back to what I just said. Remember how the first and second half are always complete opposites? It stayed true.
We've got our first little scuffle.
Oh, Landon Lyle to the lead now.
Luca Mazzilli couldn't hold the top spot. Landon Lyle and Chad Eastwan charged to the top couple spots there.
Glad to see that all cycle
Joshua
rounds
Franks
being
in fourth.
1-2 of the regular season champions.
But I'd still definitely... Oh, looks like Eastwan tried to make a move and tried to fake out last minute, but didn't really work out for him there, so he's still behind Lyle.
Joshua Frank's looking for third now under Mazzilli.
As Vincent DePizzo goes 3 wide.
Oh, they're going to get wall.
But there's still one truck who's driving like a bat out of you know where. That is the O2 of Colin Teague. He is not happy in that O2 truck, if I had to guess. And he is just trying to hunt his way back through this field and make sure that those 2 trucks up front do not get away.
And he also might be paying a visit to the 86 soon, if he gets back up there. Oh, there's going to be a big contact.
As now, I'm going to hop on board with him here just so I can kind of watch him march his way through the field, because this is going to be a story for the entire second half. Is can the O2 of Colin Teague rebound after getting put in the wall early on in the second half?
I think he will, and I think he's also going to. I think we're also going to see soon the 86 go flying into a wall, and I think I'm going to know who is the catalyst of it.
Definitely could see that happening. There's a little bit of contact there. As Teague still trying to claw his way back up, but right now he needs to stay with that 3 of Johanan, who has recovered quite well from the incident and is currently going for P3. If you can get by the 86 and the 2 of Joshua Franks, is going to run him tight in the 1 and 2, but Johnny Johanan strong on that outside lane.
They actually went 3 wide for a second there. Joshua Franks got in the middle, and he actually bailed out of it. I don't think he wanted to be in the middle of that one as he went into 1.
As Vincent DePizzo with an absolute send on the 0-2 of Teague there in 3 and 4.
As I see a certain white and blue truck getting closer in this battle.
Oh, a little bit of contact there.
Lyle and Eastwan again decided they wanted to make their own little zip code, as per normal in the regular season.
As they head down into turns 1 and 2 now, Colin Teague has got to go. He can't sit around and wait for these guys to sort out their little dogfight. He's got to make ground, and he's doing it right now, making the move on the inside of Joshua Franks right now. That's basically him saying, hey, man, I got to go. Let me by. And Frank's down the inside. He's going to give the bumper to Frank. He's going to go
he's
four.
gonna get four.
He almost made him four wide there, but I think that's Colin Teague's way of saying, hey, man, I got the fastest truck here. I got to go. Those two up there are pulling away, and I've got the best truck here. And yeah,
He's gonna door him.
He's gonna hit Frank's into the wall there. He's trying to.
That's
tell
actually gonna help Frank. So.
Oh,
he's gonna door him back.
Joshua Frank's trying to dump the O2 of Johann, and he's just absolutely trying
And
to dump the
dumped
O2 of himself. Typical. I hate to be that guy, but that's kind of what we've seen from Joshua Franks all season long. It's just, I hate to say it, but boneheaded moves like that have just described his season. I don't understand why you do something like that. Especially when the guy's fast, and I can understand he hit you, but hooking him several times down the straightaway is just blatantly stupid. I don't get it. I mean, he paid the price for it. Just no common sense in that move.
We're gonna go back to the battle for the lead. East one got on the outside of Landon Weil.
The O2 of Colin Teague, though, is still very much alive, and he's clawing through this field like it's nothing. He's already working over to the inside of Vincent DePisa there in the 76. Picks the throttle nicely. And
this battle is all over the place. The battle for the lead has swapped hands. East one got back to the lead over Weil. Weil's gonna try to send it, and he's not gonna get there.
Landon Lyle, who said that he did not know if he'd have the truck to run for the win tonight, now running right on the heels of the race leader, the 23 of Chad Eastwan.
I think they've kind of sorted that battle out. They saw the Serene 86 catching. I think they figured they're going to battle. They got to battle among themselves, and they're going to work clear. The 86 is going to send the Serene for some reason.
As he just tried to bump Joni Johanan out of the way. I don't understand the point in doing that when you're trying to catch the leaders ahead of you. But you know who all this battling really benefits? The O2 of Colin Teague. As I think
they're still battling.
They're still battling for the lead up there, and that's allowing this entire group to reel them in little by little. And if Teague can get to the lead, I don't think you'll see much of him after that as Joni Johanan retaliates against Luca Mazzilli's. Oh, they make contact! Johanan fighting back on that inside lane.
It's been expert racing versus the rest of like BNS this entire season. East one's kept his nose relatively clean, but then like everywhere else you see Joshua Franks having an issue with someone. We have Johanan having an issue with someone. So it's like it's just been that kind of season.
Mm-hmm. As now, side by side, the 76 of Vincent DePisa is going to get overpowered by the O2 of Colin Teague, who will drag himself up inside the top half of the field now.
Oh, he's right next to the 86 too. We'll see if that has any fun involved.
Colin Teague made it. Oh, the wrecking!
Oh, the 76 around.
Looks like the O2 of Teague definitely chopped his nose there. He might have a... Let me go check and see if he's got some warnings in race control.
Not yet. We have one for Joshua Franks a couple laps ago.
As I'm looking in race control now, Joshua Franks got a aggressive warning, and there was no aggressive warning there for the O2 of Colin Teague. As now, we're starting to see the man who had his back against the wall almost going into tonight, didn't really think he would have a whole lot of pace, running up front. Landon Lyle out front, just setting the pace, cruising. Not overdriving his stuff.
It looks like that incident's going to be all clear for right now. No warnings, just more lap counts.
As down the inside of the 16 of Fabico comes the O2s. Fabico's just going to let the O2 by. Not really trying to...
Oh, he's going to try a crossover.
He's going to try to cross him up, but he gave the O2